I tell you that NFL, it's some crazy stuff. You never know what you're gonna get every week with the NFL.
You know what they say,
But
right? Anything can happen on any given Sunday.
that's true. That's true. But welcome in to the Baltimore Colts show thing. Um, welcome into the Baltimore Colts show of football, where we do picks, but we do wrestling sometimes every once in a while. But
Bi-monthly.
yeah, uh, we're gonna talk about NFL Week 5, I suppose. Well, we're gonna talk about Week 6, but we'll touch Week 5 a little bit. The Colts. Let's start with them. Let's start with them moments. The Colts finally got them a win. It was ugly, but a win is a win, as they say. And you play to win the game. And since you play to win the game to get in the playoffs, then a win is a win.
But did they? I view it as petty theft.
I mean, both teams. That was a terrible game. You know,
that's one of the worst games I've ever seen.
It's pretty rough.
I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like they choose some of the worst Thursday night games to put on. I mean, even some Monday night games are bad. Also,
you know what's funny though, Justin? I saw something on the internet, which is where I get most of my information, whether it be reliable or unreliable. But I saw this thing about like how Amazon Prime has paid the NFL for like 10 years to get this deal. And that's what they got as their game. But anyway, I just thought that was funny. But shout out to the Colts for getting the win. I actually a friend of mine reached out to me. He said I was a little bit hard on the Colts last week because I said they were bums and I said they sucked, and I expected better of them. But this is talking from the person who's went to the Colts Stadium. Colts Stadium. And
you expected better, and we said hold our beer, and we lowered the bar. Okay.
Well, this is coming from the guy who felt like the Washingtons were gonna be just a force to
listen. Even without that game, first of all, Amazon fucked up. They done fucked up by paying millions of dollars for what was it, 10 years or whatever?
Yeah, it was 10 years, yo.
That is the dumbest deal I've ever heard in my life.
And
stop it.
And to be fair, DJ, wasn't it you that said that Washington was going to win the East?
Okay, hear me out.
What? No. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Okay, hear me out.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
At one point, I said
yes.
Washington.
So yes.
Okay, but now I just think it's gonna not be the Eagles.
So yes.
But anyway,
Cooper Rush and the Cowboys are gonna win it. Also, when is Dak coming back?
I think Dak's coming back next week. I think. But
also on this game, listen, we don't get many primetime games, and you know we all get excited when we get a primetime game.
Everybody gets a Thursday night game,
and then we get that one.
Primetime this month.
Well, I mean, it's not anymore because now it's on Amazon Prime. So, like, you have to have Amazon Prime to watch.
I mean, technically, it's still prime time.
You don't have to have Amazon Prime to watch it.
Time.
I'm pretty sure you have to have Amazon Prime to watch it because, like,
I don't have Amazon Prime.
Or
how did you watch it?
Or NFL Plus.
I watch it on the internet. It's called finding a stream of it.
It's called theft.
and
matey.
And just like the Colts victory on Thursday, petty theft. Anyway,
listen, it wasn't pretty, and we're not proud, but we won.
You see how it comes full circle like that. But anyway, does anybody want to talk about how they felt about any games in general? But you know, your team's game too. Before we hop into good old Week 6. Well, we know, Casey, you don't. How's that Matt Ryan signing going for? Oh, sorry.
Hey, the Giants are for real.
Hey, he got us.
I'm not ready to buy into them just yet.
I was just kidding about that. But
I'm not ready to pull that
man,
trigger. I can tell you this: Saquon for sure is back. I will stipulate to that.
Honestly, real quick on the Giants, I feel like this is an organizational thing, just in general. I feel like organizations give up on quarterbacks way too soon. But also I also wonder what is the protocol for training up your guys? For example, I know Josh Allen has put in work to become more accurate. I know Lamar has put in work to become more accurate, right? I know these things. But where is what are the Giants doing are they doing anything to help Daniel Jones with his fumbles or anything like that? Because I feel like in part that's the organization's job. That's the drills that you run. I wonder about that, because sometimes I'm like, yes, it's on the player to figure it out, but Daniel Jones can't learn how to not fumble on his own. You have to have other guys to do that. I mean, you can work on accuracy without other people, but it is kind of hard to work on accuracy on a real route tree.
You literally can practice not dropping a ball. That's the thing. You can do that.
No, well, Daniel Jones was putting himself in bad situations where he wanted to play hero ball instead of throwing it away, or granted, not always the brightest idea, but sometimes you do just have to eat the sack. Now, at the same time, Josh Allen is an exception, because he was wildly inaccurate when he first got into the league, and pretty quickly, I said, okay, he'll be halfway decent, but I don't think he'll be laser accurate. But it also shows how when you're in the same system for a couple of years and there's not constant turnover in the coaching staff and personnel in the front office, etc., you can thrive. But Josh Allen is also a rare occurrence where someone just on a dime is just laser accurate.
Yeah.
He turned that, or turned the page on that real quick, and now he's one of the most accurate guys in the league, having Stephon Diggs and weapons.
And that's what I was going to say, Adam. I feel like too, having weapons helps as well. I'm not saying it's everything, and I love to sit on that hill and die on that hill, but at the same time, having weapons does help. Jalen Hurts was wildly inaccurate before he got AJ Brown and Devonta Smith this year. That doesn't mean he's not accurate. That just means it helps to have some guys open every once in a while. Of course. Even with we've seen plenty of Kirk Cousins had one of his best seasons last year. And it helps as you have Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson at your side. That definitely helps. I don't think he had a season like that in Washington, albeit Washington probably should have extended him, but still, it doesn't really matter, right? It's weapons definitely help your case. It's a lot easier to throw the ball when there's some wide open gimme throws, whereas you kind of get, you kind of have to make something happen, which is the more difficult of the two. But week any other week 5 thoughts?
Well, let's. A couple of things. You just
sorry.
Well, aside from that, insert name right here. Oh, and by the way, Kyler, stop making it public that you're still playing video games when everybody publicly shamed you and your agent for putting that clause into the contract. So, because that was another thing. It was he had a little excursion with buddies of his of playing Call of Duty. I thought you were supposed to be watching film. Yes, dumb son. Anyway,
at least if he was playing Madden, he could say he was kind of what. Okay,
watching film.
Sure, whatever. Can someone explain to me? I mean, there's bad calls each week, but can someone explain to me how Grady Jarrett and Chris Jones in back-to-back days have the absolute worst roughing the passer calls I've ever seen?
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, obviously in the Chiefs case, it didn't end up costing them the game.
I
But
mean, it could have. I mean,
but that's what I'm getting at is that was much like the Grady Jarrett play. That was a third down. If things don't turn out the way they do as the game progresses, whatever, though, everybody's going to highlight that. It absolutely affected the possible outcome of the Falcons game. And I'm not even saying that the Falcons were still going to win, but that ruined their opportunity because, I mean, right there, Brady goes off the field, they punt, and now Marcus Mariota's got to go the length of the field. But the Bucs were showing an inability to stop them. I mean, that was a picture perfect clean tackle. So like they've got to make that reviewable. Not a coach's challenge, but they've got to have, I mean, like when a fight breaks out, New York calls in and says, "Hey, that guy threw a punch, throw him out of there." I mean, obviously nobody else saw it. Then they show it on replay and like, "Oh, there's the guy taking the swing." They've got to make that reviewable. Something like that is going to cost your favorite team. It's going to cost them a game. It's happened to all of us.
I mean, Chris Jones didn't try landing on Derek Carr like that.
You talking about Brandon Stevens literally lining up his tackle so he doesn't hit Josh Allen in the head and drop his body on him, and they call him for sorry.
Like
because Josh Allen decided to cry. As big as that man is.
No, that was just a shove. And hey, I'll put it into my game. And the Oscar goes to Jacoby Brissett. And boy, did it ever work out. And look, I understand that they want to protect the quarterbacks, especially now what just happened to
Tua.
You cannot take the violent aspect of the game. As long as it's not going at the knees or going after the head, I'm sorry, all bets are off.
Like I understand why Chris Jones. I mean, he's a big dude. I mean, his whole body landed on top of him, but like he wasn't trying to he was just going for the ball and stuff. I mean, I just don't understand.
I feel like in that aspect, there's nothing you can do. Like
he's 300 plus pounds. What is he supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly. That was a terrible call.
And by the way, has anybody ever seen a roughing the passer call where the tackler is holding the football?
Yeah, I never seen that in my life before. That was kind of funny. And I'm not just being biased because I'm a Chiefs fan. You know, like if I was any other.
I mean, like, have you ever seen two guys on the same team block each other?
That's happened a couple times this year.
That's happened a couple times. I saw that and then went back and watched some old like compilation YouTube videos, and it does happen way more than you think.
Have you ever seen when the holder not looking at the when they snapped the ball? I think it was for a Cowboys game. The holder wasn't looking at it.
It was probably that time Romo dropped the ball and had to try to run it in.
Because Mexico.
Oh, I didn't catch the snap, Jim.
So real quick before we get into week 6, I just want to ask you guys a question or two. So give me your not top team because that's boring. What team do you feel like is kind of overrated, like they're not as good as you think they are, and what team is just an absolute fraud? I got one in particular. I feel like the Packers are frauds. I really do. Like I feel like we're gonna give them credit because they got Aaron Rodgers and they're gonna go to the NFC Championship game and they're gonna play horribly and lose. But still, like we're gonna give them all the credit in the world, and they deservedly so. But I just don't think they're that good. I really don't. Also, another thing that I think is another just entire division I think is frauds. The NFC East, they're not that good. None of them, except for the Eagles. They're kind of good. But other than that, the NFC East is terrible, awful, horrible, not even that good. Those are my frauds. Jaguars, you're on the fence. You're on the fence. You're supposed to win that game. You're on the fence.
God, that game was abysmal.
My overrated. Let me look. My overrated team so far throughout the season. Can the Seahawks be one? No, I honestly, I think they're a pleasant surprise.
The Broncos.
I hate to say this.
They're the most disappointing. They're not rated right now. They're just.
I mean,
people,
what
about your NFC East pick? What about them? What about
the Cowboys?
the entire division.
He didn't pick the Cowboys. He picked the Commanders. He said those words.
I mean,
I'm sir. In a court of law, I asked you, did you or did you not pick the Commies to win the East?
I know the Rams are looking a little rough right now, but I think overrated wise, I don't believe the Bills hype. I think there's too much hype around them. There's always this one team that comes in every season and there's just a whole lot of hype around them. It's not that they've really done anything. There's just a lot of hype around them because where they were last year, whatever.
I mean, last year. I mean, not last year. I mean, last week, they beat a shitty Steelers team, and you're saying,
but it was so glorious.
Also,
I'm glad you mentioned that. Wait. I'm glad you mentioned it, but just real quick, in terms of my game, obviously was wildly disappointed, because people have highlighted the pick in the Falcons game and then yesterday. Again, I can even forgive what happened in the Falcons game. It's a potential game-winning drive. Yes, he should have probably checked down to Ernest Johnson. Maybe he shouldn't have forced that. Blah 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 blah. That interception by Jacoby was the one true egregious interception that cannot happen. All he had to do was run to the sideline. Because even if he doesn't get the first down, it's a chip shot field goal, and you're still up by 1. So, and he said he flat out did not see that guy at the goal line. I find that hard to believe, but nonetheless, that's what was said. But regardless, again, I tried to go into this season, with limited expectations. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting my ass off and hope that they do good until Deshaun got back. And now now I'm kind of in a bummed state because they're actually exceeding expectations in terms of their offense. I mean, they've been scoring points at will, 26, 30, 29, what they have yesterday, Sunday, 28. They're like the 6th or 7th overall offense. Jacoby is 6th in QBR and like possibly playing like a top 12, top 15 quarterback. It's insane. I mean, and Nick Chubb is Nick Chubb. Our defense and special teams
and
are
Kareem
weak
Hunt
links
takes
right
all
now.
my red zone touchdowns.
He had one.
Every time I need Nick Chubb to get a red zone touchdown, they put Kareem Hunt in, and I dislike them so much. Especially last week, more so last week than the week that just passed.
Well, I mean, again, Chubb's still got 7 touchdowns on the season already. But I'm glad you mentioned Hunt. One thing that I do want to highlight, that 4th down call when they gave it to Hunt and we got blasted in the backfield. That was the first time I'd said, like, that's the one play call from Stefanski I was like, I don't agree with. I'm like, Jacoby's 8 for 8 or 9 for 9 on QB sneaks. Just run it. Even if they know it's coming, just run it. Listening to Joe Thomas, who is obviously he's going into the Hall of Fame next year. He broke that play down, and now I felt a little bit better about the play call. It's just, but still would have liked to have seen maybe a play action pass. Anyway, if Wyatt Teller doesn't slip, Kareem runs for about a 45-yard touchdown. And I'm just like, oh, it's even worse. And ultimately, overall, despite all that, they still had a chance to win. Cade York, you got to make those kicks. Pure and simple. You've got to make the kick before halftime and the one that would have won the game. So it's going to be tough sledding because, like, with the exception of maybe the Bills, we're supposed to be, quote, hitting the rough part of our schedule, but we can score points with anybody. We can hang, but they've got to shore up the run game. And they just signed a couple of guys from the Falcons, and hopefully that'll tighten things up a little bit. But yeah, it was just disappointing because, like, that was the one game that I was really looking forward to this year, because that was supposed to be a revenge game. And the way it was looking at first, I'm like, my God, they may blow them out of the water. So,
me 2 weeks of the season this year. Anyway,
what?
Anybody else want to talk about their teams games, or should we move on to week?
And by the way, I hate you fuckers for using Duvernay properly,
effectively. Yeah, it's about freaking time.
No, because
that was my thing. Why does it take an injury to Rashad Bateman to use Duvernay in every way you need to use him?
No, is Bateman hurt again?
Well, he just he didn't play last week. He's some foot injury. He was in a walking boot, but after the game against the Bills, he didn't finish that game. So they were forced to use Duvernay more. And it's just like my thing is, if you're going to keep all these young guys and these guys that you want to prove it to you that they can, make it in the league, then my thing is utilize them.
That's what I'm saying.
Out there more than he is.
Duvernay should be getting the ball more than he is. Like, since he was blitzing left and right, and all Lamar had to do was just swing pass to Duvernay out in the flat, and it worked like a charm, which petrified me, because the way our run defense has been going, our linebackers have been terrible. I mean, JOK is good, and nobody is talking about how bad us losing Anthony Walker is, because our defense is totally discombobulated. The Patriots will expose that this upcoming week. Granted, I mean, I still think we are the better overall team, because that's the other thing too. I take nothing from that game on Sunday. I mean, that's Bill being Bill. But, the Patriots aren't any good, which I think is another thing, is with the exception of, like, the Chiefs, the Eagles, and the Bills, there's nobody that's, like, really separating themselves from the rest of the league. Usually we'd say, like, the AFC is going to be super tight and the NFC is wide open. I mean, if aside from those three teams, and except Carolina, everybody's like, anybody can beat anybody on Sunday. It's a coin flip. That's why I said to you guys yesterday, like, you can't pick these games anymore.
Yeah. Well, and then too, it's like, we've seen the Ravens go toe to toe with two of the better. One, I guess you can say, is you never really know with the Dolphins, but they were up on the Bills. You finish the game, you play half as good as you played in the first half, and the rest of that game, there's a whole different discussion to be had. So it's a league that changes week to week, and always try not to dwell too much on the last game, because as soon as you play another contending opponent or really good opponent, people tend to really forget about what you did the week before. But I think just in regards to the Ravens game, I was glad with how it went. It was a ugly divisional game, but, like, that's how divisional games usually go. You ain't blowing out nobody in your division. that ain't usually how it goes. Unless you're the Jaguars playing the Colts in Jacksonville. I mean,
there is something wrong. There is something up with the Bengals. I will say that.
Here's the thing: like, when you actually tackle Jamar Chase, usually he can't just run right past you. Because, like, that was, I was talking about that, like, in the video I did on the other channel. I'm like, it's amazing what happens when you actually make the Bengals work down the field on you, and not just throw it up to Jamar Chase. He breaks a tackle and then he's gone. Now, albeit, it helps that T. Higgins wasn't there, wasn't anywhere to be found because he was hurt. But even still, like, even with T. Higgins, they look kind of iffy. Like, well, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, like they cannot push the ball down the field, and that's why I was a little suspect on that extension for Zach Taylor. I'm like, I dare you to do it again. Because I thought that I thought that, he got in the position that he was in despite his bad coaching, because there were times last year where I'm like, he's a moron, particularly that game against the Chiefs, where it was, fourth down. It seemed like every other second that at the end of that game where it was holding penalty. And then Burrow got hurt still. I mean, granted, he still played, but he tried doing that across the field throw. And, then they had to make the field goal, but I don't know. He is not putting them in a position to succeed.
I mean, and that's the thing about the Bengals too. Like, the Bengals to me are about as good as if the Chargers went on a run this year and ended up losing in the Super Bowl too. Like, you got to prove it to me year in and year out, not just 1 year when you had the entire Ravens practice squad in the AFC North to face twice. I'm sorry. Like, for me, especially, and I'm a little more critical of the Bengals because I don't like the Bengals, and they've been talking a whole.
I hate the Bengals also. I'm with you, DJ.
Mean, they've been talkative. I mean, they're more talkative than Chiefs fans, and at least Chiefs fans got a ring to run around with. The Bengals don't. Like, they're the AFC champs. Congratulations.
Bengals fans are so obnoxious. They are.
Welcome to my life, pal.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, Bengals fans are obnoxious, and then the receivers walk around like they're God's gift to receiving touchdowns. And I get it. You guys were last year, but what you gonna do when people adjust? Like, we talk so much about, what they're gonna do when they figure out Mahomes, what they're gonna do when they figure out Lamar. What about when they figure out Burrow? What about when they figure out this Bengals pedestrian looking offense right now? What about that?
What about them investing so much money to fix the offensive line and it's not even any better?
Mm-mm. It was funny. And I was about to say too, I feel like the one thing about the Ravens is they're still one receiver away. And I feel like I like the talent that they have, but at the same time, these guys are on almost like prove it deals. Like, prove it to me, Demarcus Robinson, that you're that dude. Prove it to me, Devin Duvernay, or even Bateman to a certain degree, because none of these guys have cracked 1,000 yards in their careers yet, because they're just either young, not young, underutilized, or they were a third or fourth wide receiver in Kansas City. Oh, sorry, Demarcus Robinson. But still, I still want to see what you guys got, but I still think one more solid receiver would just be, as Justin would say,
OBJ.
I mean, I wouldn't be hurt by it. I mean, I'll lie to you. And where the heck did Will Fuller go? Did he fall off the face of the earth? He was like a top target, like a top free agent target for a lot of teams, and then I've heard nothing out of him, nothing about him.
Because people are get scared away because he's been hurt a lot the last handful of years. I wanted the Browns to go after him because he's got that connection with Deshaun.
Isn't OBJ coming off of his second ACL injury in 3 years?
Yes,
I know he's Odell. Don't get me wrong, but still, I say take your chance. I mean,
yeah, but in that
hey, if the Chiefs go for a shot to take him, I wouldn't mind.
But in that instance, again, would you rather have Odell the back half of the season, or possibly rolling the dice with Will Fuller? I'll take OBJ each time.
I'll take them both on bet minimum deals at this point.
Well, good luck getting a minimum deal with OBJ.
I mean, that because that's the thing with me too. As I'm sitting here, I just wonder, can the Ravens keep it up with this wide receiving core? I like Bateman, I like Duvernay, but after that, I'm a little concerned. When it comes down to it, I know Mark Andrews is probably the best tight end in the league. I get that, but one more guy, you can't ever have too much, and I think the Bengals have proven that with the talent they got.
I know we give Justin grief, but I think Travis Kelce would argue.
I mean, he's basically a
he can argue, but he's wrong. He can argue.
Sir, he had 25 yards reception last night, but his 7 receptions, 4 of them were touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good number 2. Anyway, week 6.
Wow.
He's a
I'm
good number
surprised.
2.
Wow.
I'm surprised you could say that with a straight face.
He's a good number 2. He's a good number 2.
You are a liar. You're a
I'm not-
cheat. You're a scam.
Come on, Mark Andrews is top
Mark Andrews
2,
is phenomenal.
not 2.
Mark Andrews is phenomenal, but I still would put Kelsey over Andrews.
That's shameful. That's shameful. Anyway,
Commanders winning the East, you bum.
Speaking of the Commanders, Thursday Night Football, the best game of the week, obviously. The Washington Commanders going up against the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah. Anybody picking the Commanders on this one?
I'd like to take Ron Rivera in the press conference for calling out Carson Wentz. This is going to be
the commies. Get it right.
Okay. I'm sorry. The commies.
Also, where's Joe? Where's Joe at today?
I mean, I know these are grown adults. Like I get that and I understand that, but like, you really expect me to play at a high level when all of Washington's problems can be attributed to Carson Wentz? All of them.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong.
All the above.
He made the decision he made to throw the pick. Like, situationally, yeah, he does some stupid things, and maybe that's half the issue, I guess. But like, everything. Washington has been bad since they decided, oh, Kirk Cousins, we're gonna let you walk and hope we can find lightning in a bottle again. You drafted 2 really good quarterbacks in the same dang on draft. Neither one of them on your team anymore.
But I just would like to point out that Jim Irsay could not wait to let him go, and now Ron Rivera comes out with that statement. Granted, he shouldn't have said it. I'm not disputing that, but there is something about Wentz that rubs players and coaches the wrong way. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I feel like too, but that's the thing. Like, Wentz shows the talent from time to time. Like, he shows like he can still be that guy. Like, as an organization, who signed the freaking guy, who gave the guy another chance, who felt like when they got him, hey, we're gonna take this opportunity. You make a lot of money as an organization. You can't say, let's figure out what's up with this dude. Let's have somebody sit down and talk with him. What's going on with this guy?
They were desperate.
That's all I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying like you need to give every resource to every player, but like, Carson Wentz gets chance after chance after chance, and I honestly think it's all here. Ever since those injuries, he's just been a shell of himself. He's just not been able to find himself again. Like, and it feels like it's mentally, because you see the talent. It's just he makes a bad decision when he shouldn't. Like he's panicking. Like he's either panicking or trying to play hero ball, and neither one of them's working. So I guess we're all going with their Bears.
Bears.
All right. Moving on to.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, if you weren't going to say anything, I literally asked.
Why would you assume? Why would you assume that everyone?
Why are you asking all them questions?
Why are you making statements? Assuming. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that my brother Bill and my brother Bob are very excited about this game. We wanted an easy week, and the NFL said, "Here you go. You got an easy week." So,
Billy Bob,
shut your face when I'm talking. I'm my brother. All right, we're going Bears 324, Commanders -7.
See, now you're starting to get it. Now you're starting to get it. I'm telling you, we need to do these games against the spread.
we need to do the parlays. That's what we need to do. We need to make parlays.
You will, and you'll clean it up.
All right. Let's go to the Jets at the Packers. Wow. Why did
against the who?
What?
Against the
what was that team?
Why do the Jaguars and the Colts play again this soon?
Sir, stop evading these questions. What did you just say?
The Packers. The Packers and the Jets. Okay?
The Packers? The Packers?
The Packers?
The Packers are frauds, and they're going to lose to the Jets.
I agree. I agree with that.
End of story. There's nothing else that needs to be said. That offense looks terrible, and that defense looks, and the Jets look decent. Like okay, like that's AIGHT, not IIGHT. Okay. Anyway, Casey, who you got on this one? The Packers or the Jets?
I'm going with whatever that first team you said was. The Packers. It definitely wasn't the Packers.
Go Packers, go. Okay. The Alpacas. Okay.
No.
Not the
No.
Alpacas. I thought it was the Alpacas.
I'm going with the jet skis. The jet skis.
Oh, okay. Adam, you gonna make it a clean swept?
No, I'm gonna go with the Packers. The Indianized quarterback is gonna come back pissed off, and he's gonna throw the tutties, and the Packs
His backs. Okay.
I was gonna say something else, and I don't want to get even more demonetized.
Real quick on the Patriots at the Browns game. We know who Adam's picking, so everybody else, what you think? I'm going with the Patriots because I need the Browns to go down.
You son of a bitch.
I'm going with the Brownies.
All right. Casey, who you got?
Well, I'm going with the Oranges.
Oh my God.
The Mandarins? Okay.
The Clementines.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Adam, did you have anything you wanted to say about this one before we move
see
on?
no orange in that logo at all. Not even a little bit. So
You have the dumbest arguments ever.
I'm going with the Cleveland Orangemen.
This man's
Defense, be disciplined. They're gonna run the shit out of that guy that blew up on Detroit. I can't even think of the guy's name now, but that's who you need to key in on. You're going up against a guy named Zappy. Come on now. And not to mention they're coming to your house. Do not let them breathe.
demonetized.
They're coming hard.
Oh my God.
Moving on. Speaking of another loss for the Colts, the Jags at the Colts. Is anybody picking the Colts? I know it's in Indy. I get it. I know the Jags are frauds. I get it. But I'm picking the Jags.
Pick the Jags.
The Colts are terrible.
I expect the same type of game. I expect the Jags to win, but like it being like 12-9.
I think this will be the first time the Jags have beaten the Colts in Indianapolis, though, in a while.
Right. But just saying, Trevor has not looked good the last 2 games.
Yeah. Chase, do you want to say anything about the Jags-Colts game before we move on? Because we know you're picking the Colts. Well, you might pick the Jags. I don't know. You never really know with you, to be honest.
We're just going to watch the game. We're going to watch and enjoy the game. Okay?
They're not even actual Colts. I can't watch this nonsense.
I have never seen not one horseshoe run on that field.
I done seen. Oh, okay.
I heard that actual horses and actual Jaguars are going to be used in this game.
That would probably be more entertaining.
Yes,
I
I
It'd be
agree.
way more entertaining than seeing crippled old Matt Ryan, trudge out on the field.
He's not even that old.
Sir, he was a corpse throwing a football last week.
He's not even that old.
Have y'all seen that Have y'all seen that old man running in that flag football game? That's Matt Ryan.
Yes.
He only 57. He only 57.
The Vikings, the Dolphins.
But that's like in dog years, sir.
Listen, just
So he's like 102.
Is anybody
the
picking the hurt up
Minnesota.
Dolphins right now?
No.
just because he looks like every stereotypical dad at this point. All right, listen. Shut up. Oh, okay. He looking a little bit old in this picture. I won't. I'm not going. He just needs some just for men. That's what that is.
Sir, if you paint over rust, it's still rust. And by the way, ain't nobody gonna pick the Dolphins. We're gonna go with
So,
sir,
is anybody besides Casey picking the Dolphins? Because we know Casey.
Do you not know the horn, the Viking horn?
Yeah, I know that horn, but like you kind of paused there for a minute, like so. I didn't know if he cut out or something.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
All right, next on the pick.
Well, wait. By the way, real quick though,
I didn't even get to pick that one.
Because we know you're picking the Dolphins.
And all your 32 teams, and all your 30.
Yeah, and by the way, like, why do they make Teddy sit after one play last week? I feel bad for Skylar Thompson.
I was going with the Kings.
You liar.
He was going with the Minnesotas.
I was going with the Kings because the Fins ain't doing too good.
Well, they just gave up 40 to the Jets, so I feel you. And by the way, Minnesota, when you get ahead, just beat them. Just beat them. They were up 21-0 or 21-3 to the Bears, and they just let them waltz right back.
And that goes for the other purple team in the league too. Anyway.
This is true. It's true. The other purple eaters.
The
Purple
Bengals at the Saints. I think the Saints are gonna win this game. The Saints win by hook or by crook. Like, I don't know when Jameis is coming back, and I love Jameis. I do. Like I really, I really do. Like, I love Jameis, but he is the most memeable quarterback to ever play the game. But I like what they doing with Andy. I think this is Andy's revenge game right here. He gonna be like, Joe Burr, I'm more fashionable than you. I throw more TDs than you.
I throw more interceptions than you.
I fumble the ball more than you. But we gonna win against you tonight. I think that combination with Taysom Hill. They do some weird stuff, but if it's working, it's working. Stick with it. I'm going with the Saints. I'm going with the Saints on this one. I think this is kind of a toss-up, so I'm gonna let everybody else. I ain't gonna ask is anybody gonna pick the Bengals because I feel like some of y'all is. Justin, who you got?
Give me the Saints. The Saints come marching in.
This is who that.
I gotta go with who that as well because, like the defense, that Saints defense is starting to wake up just a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit, and I think they're gonna have tough sledding trying to block Cam Jordan and company. Oh, and by the way,
Cam Jordan has been playing forever.
He has been playing forever, and he's still playing at an elite level. But by the way, I need Taysom Hill just to keep the helmet on this whole time. Every time he takes that damn thing off, I'm like, that is Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus. He is not someone to look at. But yeah, give me the Aints.
Okay. Casey, who you got? Casey, who you got?
I'm thinking.
Casey,
who do you have?
Who you got? Who got there?
Are you done?
Oh, sorry, Cassie. Who you got? There we go.
Chase, who do you have?
You motherfucker. First of all, the most memeable quarterback is Russell Wilson. Get that right. Anyway, I'm going with the who.
What?
He going with the Owls. Okay, next game.
Yeah.
The Ravens at the Giants.
Wait a minute. No, who are you picking? I don't know who the who is.
Well,
you
luckily,
taking
Adam,
both
you ain't got to
who's?
take notes on this year. So, because
Are you taking the who? Are
Casey
you
be
taking
making
the
up
who?
stuff.
You taking the hoo-ha's?
I'm going with both teams.
Goodness.
Both for the tie.
The Ravens at the Giants.
Ravens,
Ravens,
huge.
My thoughts on this. Play a clean game. The Giants are a good defense.
Giants blowout.
Oh, they're gonna get blown out. Okay, so
I mean, it's a long trip from London, so you know that's tough. So does a trip from London technically count as like a long week because you had to play early in the morning? I always wanted that. Anyway, it'd still be a short week. No, I'm telling you, like I'm not using that as an excuse for Green Bay. I'm just saying I've been to London. That time change ain't no joke. Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like it took me almost 3 days to get used to that time schedule.
Oh, that's a good segue there, Adam. Speaking of jokes, the Steelers going up against the Buccaneers.
Not as big as a joke as Kenny Pickett trying to start a fight with the Bills players. You know who I am? I'm Kenny Pickett.
I'm Kenny Pickett.
Is anybody
eastbound and down
the Steelers and those bums?
Hell nah.
This might be the first losing season for Mike Tomlin.
I hope. I'm just telling you right now.
Are they tanking on purpose?
I don't think so.
No,
So.
Carolina. By the way, Carolina's about to do a fire sale. So anybody needs a player,
DJ Moore.
In Carolina.
DJ Moore. I'm telling you, purple look good on you, brother. I didn't see you in a suit. Purple look good on you. Okay.
Hey, Brian Burns. You know, like CJ Henderson, maybe.
JC Horn, I'll take you too.
I'll take JC Horn. Shit. Baker, come home, Baker.
Anybody? Okay.
Come here, McCaffrey. Come over here. Come here, McCaffrey.
The Panthers at the Rams.
Oh God.
The Panthers gonna sneak this one out, guys. I'm telling y'all.
They're not. No, they're not.
Because Matt Rule got fired. He was the problem. So then they gonna win by like half a point. It's gonna happen.
As Adam likes to say, ram it.
Ram it.
It's gonna happen.
So somehow, some way, Matt Stafford will actually have protection for like maybe not like the whole game, but like maybe like 5 minutes of a quarter.
Oh, shit. Baker is out, ain't he?
Yeah, it's PJ Walker.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. PJ about to go off.
No, but here, sir. But let me remind you.
PJ about to go off.
let me remind you though. They still have Ben McAdoo as the fucking offensive coordinator. He has the most simplistic play calling scheme in the world. It's, hey Christian, I'm gonna hand this off to you. Yeah, that kind of worked. Christian, I'm going to throw this to you out in the flat. That kind of worked. Okay, everybody else streak down the field. Bad ball.
Pass it to Will. The Cardinals at the Seahawks. You know what? I think the Seahawks. I mean, that boy Gino been playing. You know,
I'm about to
he
pick
ain't
Gino
started
up.
like 5 years,
that's the one thing that has made no sense this year is that Geno Smith is slinging it across the yard.
I'm about to pick Geno Smith up on fantasy. I'm about to do
shoot, I need to pick him up the way Aaron Rodgers bum behind been playing. Anyway,
his bum behind.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
All right.
Caw.
That sounds like a Cardinal.
Well,
know
sir, it is not that.
Casey.
What game? What game we on?
The Cardinals and the Seahawks.
I remember I used to play.
And what game were we on before that? That you skipped over me, you jerk.
I didn't skip over you.
Well, speed up.
You skipped me.
My entire line is anybody picking this team? If you don't say anything, then I'm assuming you don't want to pick that team. Like every week when I say, is anybody picking the Colts? And we all just be like, heck no. It's like that.
Just like that.
You can't be you can't be skipping over me like that. You can't do that.
How will Bill and Bob feel? How do they feel right now?
We already talked about the Bears. Why you? Anyway, what game are we on that year?
I think the last game you picked, I don't think you were picking the Steelers, but you didn't get to say Tampa Tom, so let's go back to there. The Buccaneers at the Steelers. Who you got?
Tampa Tom.
Okay. The Panthers at the Rammies. Who you got?
You know, like I use a little bit of Lulu, but I'll ram it.
The Cardinals at the Seahawks.
Wait a minute, who was Tampa playing? I don't remember calling that game. But
The Steelers.
The Steelers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Going with the refs.
Going with the refs. Okay. The Bills at the Chiefs. Casey, we're gonna start with you.
Go Williams, go.
What did you say? It's a little bit of, but I'll ram it.
That's it. I used a little bit of lube, but I'll ram it.
In terms of the Bills at the Chiefs, I think the Bills and Bills Mafia, who is a great fan base, by the way, but in terms of their charitable donations, but I will say this. I think the Bills are coming into this game like, okay, revenge game, revenge season. You know, like the Chiefs got us last year. Like that was Josh Allen's coming out party. La la la.
He came. Today's national coming out day.
He was already out.
Why you gotta go there? Why you gotta? That was a terrible segue.
Anyway,
I'm the secret square.
With that being said, I think the Chiefs will win this game. I'm expecting a blowout, but I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a close game. But if it's a blowout, you come back to this moment, 52-30, 1, 2, 3. You come back to this moment, and you remember that I said it.
So they got
and you said that Josh Allen was coming out.
Don't remember that part.
Demonetized.
So they got to do the job so they can get the blowout. So they got to do the job.
Casey, do you even want to pick the game, or was that the pick? I think
he said, "Go Williams, go."
Yeah, he said.
Go.
I gave him a chance to say it again.
Adam, who you have?
Adam, who you got?
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia, baby. Revenge game. Josh Allen. Insert what DJ said.
Blow job. Blow him out.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. That's the thing. Don't get that twisted, because I didn't say that.
You come to this moment and you remember I said Josh Allen is coming out.
Justin, is there anything you want to say about this game before we painfully move on?
It's gonna be a close game, but the Bills are winning.
What?
The Bills are gonna win.
So,
what?
Casey,
because I'm doing this like reverse psychology.
54 minutes. Justin finally picked against the Chiefs. Put it on TikTok so we can remember it forever, please.
I actually have picked against the Chiefs before. I actually have in that.
Nope, never happened.
I've never seen it. Anyway,
I'll go find the footage. Even if I find the footage, you go like, nope, never happened. Never happened.
The Cowboys at the Eagles. Cowboys upset. Cowboys upset.
Cooper Rush is for real. God damn it.
Hey, you watch your
demonetized. Yeah, I'm going Cowboys upset on this one.
Why?
Because the Eagles are good, but the Eagles are also like they got talent everywhere, so it makes them look better than they are.
I don't
No,
think
no, here's what's gonna happen.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Isn't
That's
that
not
the
how it works.
goal? Isn't that the goal?
Here's what's gonna happen. Okay,
Listen,
The
you have a
Eagles are
really
gonna blow 'em
talented roster, but I don't think you're that good.
here's what's gonna happen. The Eagles are gonna blow them out. Okay, and then the next week,
Whoa,
Dak
let's
is gonna
go,
come.
Dak.
Dak is gonna come back. Dak is gonna be back. He's coming back after the week.
They
That
got
was
too many
worse
good
than-
players. They got
Well,
too many good players. That makes them frauds. I tell you.
They're gonna be
Dak-
right
I
back in
mean,
there.
I mean, for the record, there was a year when the Browns had a lot of good players, and they was hyped up a lot.
like every year.
No, not every year. No, there was a year that Adam doesn't want to remember, and I don't even want to bring it up. But we already here,
2019.
and I'm just saying it can happen.
That was a great year. That was amazing.
That was the Freddie Kitchens year. That was a bad hire.
Freddie Kitchens. Was he cooking in the kitchen?
So
And
Cowboys.
don't try to and wait, just hold up. But I have never said anything as stupid like the Chiefs got all these great players. They're overrated. they think okay.
I mean, I just think the Eagles got some holes. They do.
They do, but they have a lot of good players.
They do have a lot of good players. I'm not gonna lie about that. They do have a lot of good players. I think the Eagles are really good. I just feel a collapse coming from the Eagles. They're the only undefeated team left. I mean, let's be honest. The Steelers had a lot of talent when they were undefeated. They were just bums. Now, are the Eagles as bums as the Steelers? No.
As bums? What?
As bumps.
As bumps.
That's the
As
word.
bumps.
Ass
It's
boys.
a saying. As bumps.
Scissor me, daddy ass.
Oh,
Monitor. Justin, please stop that.
Adam, who you got in this game?
I'm going with the weirdest frauds, according by your logic. I'm gonna go with the Eagles because they got all them great players.
Casey, who you got?
Die, Cowboys, die.
I said the Eagles is the frauds. The fraudulent.
Okay, Cowboys it is.
Cowboys.
But they're still gonna win. They still gonna win though.
The Broncos at the Chargers. Go
Chargers next.
Chargers. Go. Is anybody picking the Broncos?
Chargers, go.
We go.
I hate you so.
Chargers, go.
Hold on.
You
All right.
fucking slapdick.
Is there?
I hope you take a poop with your pants on.
I'm assuming
Chargers, go.
nobody else wants to go with the Broncos.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill
That was 3. Go Chargers.
Hold
go.
on.
So
I
think that's all of us.
gotta play. Hold on. I gotta play this for Casey.
Oh, wait.
Chargers, go.
I gotta
Ooh,
play
that
this.
was
This is
good.
for Casey. Okay.
Go Chargers, go.
Go do that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No, not this.
Go Chargers, go.
Would you stop
Well-
giving this mother?
Well, all right.
Bro.
We'll see y'all later. Because the way this is going, we might have it in this thing. But as always, I think we're good on that one because that was the last game.
Please, and by the way, please Chargers win because I want to see Hackett fired.
Definitely
Chargers, go.
hope you guys enjoyed.
Go
You can watch us on,
Chargers, go.
you can listen to us on the platforms. Okay, bye.
Go Chargers, go.
Listen to us on the platform.
Go Chargers, go.